Duchenne is one of the most common genetic disorders of childhood. It's a severe progressive disease which affects primarily the muscles and causes the muscles to generally weaken over time. There's a boy somewhere in the US who is diagnosed with Duchenne today. Around the age of 10, boys typically need to use a wheelchair to get around. In their early teenage years, they need help eating and feeding themselves. And later on in the disease process, it affects the lung muscles and the heart muscles.
When we found out he was in kindergarten, and it was very scary. I mean, it was like a bomb went off in the house.
I mean, it feels like somebody just is drowning you, and you feel like you're suffocating, and you don't even know how you're gonna deal with it or come out of it or go on.
Overwhelming to know that your child is dying inside and you can't do anything about it.
We're playing poker.
Watch me lose a hand live.
Right? I'm doing okay.
Obviously, the disease needs a lot of money for research.
It's not about free shoes for the rich. It's about finding a cure. It's about getting the research done.
We've been working on this.
These trial drugs have now been safely given to boys for more than 3 years.
Be reasonable.
Accelerated approval for Duchenne.
Accelerated approval for Duchenne. Now, not later.
Be reasonable. Accelerated approval for Duchenne.
The world's leading experts are here today telling us that what they're seeing is unusual. Our boys are changing in front of our eyes.
36 prominent scientists and physician experts in Duchenne provided the FDA with a letter clarifying issues raised.
I think if the leadership looks at all the data, looks at the performance of the FDA, looks at the performance of the outcome, looks at the totality of the data, the leadership ought not to be able to do anything else other than to sign off on accelerated approval of the drug. I mean, really, honestly, that's the answer.
When we first started out, they had to go to Salt Lake, to Cincinnati, and now we have the best place in the world right here at UCLA for these children to go to.
Carl, it's one of the most anticipated events of the year. Sarepta Therapeutics getting FDA approval for its Duchenne muscular dystrophy drug. The stock up 75% today on this surprise decision.
So it's a great day. Today, eteplirsen finally was granted accelerated approval for Duchenne.
When I first started, there was no NIH funding specifically for muscular dystrophy. There was no drug company interest, and there were no nonprofit groups specifically aimed at Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And now all of those are in existence.
Really, it's, when you're feeling helpless, sometimes the best thing to do is help someone else.
It's been a huge seismic shift and a coming together of drug companies, federal funding, and nonprofits.
We are so grateful because we wouldn't be here without all of them. And when we do an event every year, which we're going to do for a long time, because we're never getting rid of this disease, we're just going to treat it, we're going to live with it, and these kids are going to have good quality of life, but we're going to be raising money every year. So I just say thank you. You're giving kids a better quality of life. You're helping us. and we're just grateful.